Hello and welcome to a look at Ghostbusters 2 for the Amiga, a game that was released by Activision. As you can likely imagine, this is a tie-in to the movie by the same name. But as you can also likely imagine, the music for the game is inspired by or taken from the movie's theme, which of course is the legendary Ghostbusters theme. And as such is likely copyrighted, owned, whatever else it might be. And as I don't want to have any issues with videos I upload, I decided to mute the music, which is not as much of a loss as you may think. I will get to that momentarily. The game takes three sequences from the film and converts them into levels. I don't want to be too spoilerish in case someone hasn't watched the film and may be interested in watching the film. But it is very, very hard to avoid with movie tie-in games. Basically, the Ghostbusters has discovered that a river of slime is flowing towards the Museum of Art, and they like to know what the properties of said slime is. So they dig a big gaping hole in Fifth Avenue, without permission, of course, and lower Ray down to the bottom of the air shaft thing, whatever it is, in order to gather a sample of slime. The gameplay for the first level is based around that. And of course, Ray didn't bring his own slime scoop because that would have been too easy, so he basically has to get 3 parts of the slime scoop in order to scoop up the slime, so the Ghostbusters can analyze the sample. While being lowered, he will have to face off against various different ghosts trying to scare the life out of him, quite literally, because his life force is represented as his courage. If he panics, he will lose grip of the lion and tumble down to the bottom of the level, which of course will cause him to lose a life. But not only that, there's also a very, very annoying ghost that can show up quite randomly, which will try to cut the wire holding Ray. And of course, if it manages to cut the wire, you can imagine that Ray is going to also take a tumble. You have various different pickups you can pick up. One of them, I assume, would be a bottle of whiskey because it restores Ray's courage, or his health meter thing if you want. But you also have different weapons you can pick up. Charge for the photon beam, which is your main defense against the ghosts, but also some grenade-like barrier things that, if dropped, will destroy any ghost getting in touch with them. Then you also have the shield, which not only will protect Ray from anything coming from above or below him, but will also destroy any ghost it touches. For reference, I forgot to pick up the third part of the scoop, which I will eventually remember to do, and will move back up and get it picked up. But instead of trying to go through the game level for level, because I never reached the last level, let's talk about the second level. After analyzing the slime, the Ghostbusters realize that it is mood slime. The slime is directly affected by any positivity or negativity surrounding it. And you have a river of said slime flowing under a city, filled with people grumbling, moaning, and complaining all the time. So you can likely imagine the state of the slime. The fact that the river is flowing towards the Museum of Art is much more ominous than initially perhaps expected, because in the Museum of Art there's a picture of a nice little guy called Vigo the Carpathian, a person that people loved so much that they killed him in several different ways to make sure that he was absolutely and assuredly dead. Which of course he isn't, because his spirit is still residing in the painting of him, and the negatively charged river of slime is fueling his attempt at being reborn. The plot of the film may be a bit weak, and some people don't particularly like the film, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Anyway, the River of Slime eventually encapsulates the Museum of Art, and it is covered in a shell that is impervious to anything the Ghostbusters can throw at it. So they realize they need a symbol that everyone can get behind. So they end up covering the Statue of Liberty with bucketloads of positively charged slime and take her for a little walk down the street. A very, very epic sequence in the film, at least for the time. But in this game, it has been turned into a shoot 'em up sequence where you have to shoot ghosts. So they drop their slime thing and then have people run out and pick up the slime in order to keep the Statue of Liberty's stamina high. The level is divided into 16 sub-sections, having various mini-boss ghosts spawning at various times, and once you have reached the end of the level, you will access the third level, which I never got to, because I have had enough of playing the game at that point. The technical side of things, the graphics are adequate. You can identify the characters from the film, and you can identify the area and locations from the film, but specifically on the second level, considering that the Statue of Liberty is quite a stiff old lady, seems surprisingly nimble. Doesn't really seem to have a sense of weight, which is emphasized quite vividly in the film. The sound effects are obnoxiously loud and not of a particularly high quality, so for me at least, they became quite annoying after a short amount of time. I did not find any excitement in them at all. The music sounds like it has been assembled from the film's theme, but not at a particularly high quality, meaning that the music is not particularly pleasant to listen to. People should be familiar with the theme, Ghostbusters, and the music in this game does not in any way, shape or form do justice to the original material. And as such, you are not losing out on using this music, trust me. The game only having 3 levels makes it very, very easy to imagine that the difficulty level could be artificially inflated in order to give you some sort of sense of value for money. And the difficulty of this game has definitely been a complaint point from certain people. For me personally, the difficulty wasn't an issue. I usually disregard graphics as a factor, because it doesn't matter how good a game looks if it's not fun to play. My concern is much more in the sound department, and the sound in this game does not have a quality that makes it bearable to listen to for any extended periods of time. And of course, the vital component that creates the enjoyment of a game, the gameplay, is incredibly lackluster and not very exciting. It's a bit sad to say, but this movie time is decidedly lackluster and not particularly interesting to play. On that note, thanks for watching, take care, see you next time, bye bye for now.